Hi everyone, so today I'm doing another oil painting speed paint. This is my second try of the voiceover because I pre-export my videos, just the footage, no intro, no outro or anything like that, so that when I record my voiceover there's definitely no lag between what I say and what's happening on the screen. Because I find often with, if I play it just through my video editor, sometimes there can be a delay because obviously video editors are using a lot of your computer and they can cause lag. So I didn't export all of the video, I only exported like the first 8 minutes. So I didn't even realise it was that long. So I've now sped it up and exported the entire video, so now I can speak about the entirety of the painting. So this is an oil painting that I've done on a box canvas that I'm pretty sure says it was triple primed, but I then sanded it and then did another layer of gesso and then sanded it again to make it extra smooth. For my reference for this, I used some images from the website Morguefile, which would be really useful for you to check out if you are an artist. This isn't sponsored because my channel's tiny and nobody knows I exist, but Morguefile are really good. Basically, all of the photos on the website they're user submitted, but you can use any of them commercially as long as you edit them in any way. So obviously if you just paint it, then that's edited because it's been painted, but also I use it to Photoshop a load of images together to make one reference image. So I used the pattern of the water from a photo that I found on Morguefile. As you can see above my canvas, I've got a printout of what I've done is I've simplified it and I've just selected the dark areas and coloured those and then done the light areas so that I've got a pattern that I drew onto my canvas. Well, I traced it. And then I'm just painting in the darker areas now. I had 3 different tones. You can see the top started more greeny, the bottom went a bit lighter and bluer. You can now see that I've let that bottom layer dry, and now I'm going over it with another layer. This time I'm using similar colours, but they're slightly more closer in tone and hue, so that it's kind of unifying the background. And it's not completely opaque, so you can still see through, and it just helps to kind of bring all the colours together that I've used for the dark areas of the water. I've not painted water before, well, not properly. Before I did this painting, I did 3 studies in oil paints of water, so I could kind of get the hang of it. But I didn't do any water that looked like this. I didn't do any water with really high contrast highlights. So I'm not really practiced in this, but it was fun to do, and I think the outcome's alright. So I haven't let that layer dry, I've made sure it's still wet, and then I put white paint around the edges of all my highlights, and then I use a clean paintbrush and merge it all together. So you can see that for the paintbrush I'm using to blend, I'm wiping it off on the paper towel next to me so that it's always clean and I'm not using any of the colour from the other area to kind of blend it. I'm just using the paint that's already there so that it doesn't get muddied up. I'm also filling in the middle just as continuality for when I paint over it. I don't have to be completely opaque because it doesn't look weird, basically. I often have to wipe off my brush multiple times, even just for one shape, because there is quite a lot of paint on this layer. It's probably the thickest layer I did. In fact it is, because all the other layers didn't cover the entire canvas. But this one has, because I'm doing the highlights and the darks in one layer and not letting it dry. Now you can see that I'm going into my darker areas again, and I'm just hyping up that contrast a bit by hyping. I don't know, hyping doesn't sound like it fits. Either way, I'm increasing the contrast a bit by adding a dark blue. It's kind of an opaque glaze, should we say. It's not very opaque paint, but It's kind of like a glaze, but it's a bit more opaque than normal. So I'm just using that to up the contrast and then also tidy up the edges a bit from where I've blended to make sure that everything looks a bit neater. Obviously things can kind of lose their shape when they're just kind of spread out with a paintbrush, so I'm just refining the shapes a bit. Now I'm adding some white to the highlights to brighten them up a bit. I plan to glaze over the whites with different colours, so I wanted them to be a bit less blue and a bit brighter so that they could be darkened a bit and it doesn't look terrible. So I'm just using, this is mixed in with a little bit of paint thinner and a little bit of liquid, so it's not fully opaque white. It's just brightening up the areas rather than straight up painting them white. Again, that also increases the contrast. So now I'm starting that glazing process of different very transparent colours. So I was originally planning to make these reflections quite rainbow toned. I still do, as you can see I'm using yellow and then I blended an orange, now I'm doing a pink and I'll go on to do a purple. There are rainbow tones across the surface of the water, but they're nowhere as opaque as I was going to make them, because the farther I got into this, one, I started really pale, so I kind of just went with it, but two, the farther I got into it, the more I liked the more transparent feel, because it kind of made the water look opalescent. It was really interesting. You can't see it too well in the video, but I will insert a picture at the end, a photo that I've taken. Hopefully I'll be able to get a good photo of how it looks opalescent. I don't know how well, I mean it's not caught so well in the video, so I've not got the most amazing hopes for the photo at the end, but it does look opalescent in real life, so I thought that looked really cool, and it wasn't actually what I was going for, but it happened, and I was like, I don't think I could have done this if I tried, so I quite liked it. You can see I'm going in the tweezers. That's because the paintbrush I'm using, whilst the perfect size, sheds an awful lot. The entire set of those ones I got shed so much. The hairs are really soft and they're really nice, but it sheds tons of hairs, so I had to keep tweezers by me and just keep on picking brush hairs out of my painting. It's quite annoying, it's alright. So now you can see I'm just going around the edges of the white highlighted areas, and I'm just adding a bit of blue just to merge it into the background a little bit. Here you can see the opalescence quite well actually in this shot. The lighting on my camera, I need to take it out of its auto mode because it isn't as smart as it used to be, but it's changed quite a lot even though it's the exact same lighting every time I'm filming. But yeah, you can kind of see there's like yellow in the bottom corner, it kind of goes up to an orangey pink, and then there's purple in the top right corner. But yeah, so I'm just adding blue around the edge to neaten up the shapes again. It's not very opaque, this is like an actual glaze now, and it's just blending the whites into the blue just a bit. Now that the colour's on, so I want to influence the colour that's on top, not just the white below. And now I'm just adding some white highlights again, so just some small little white lines. This is mostly opaque paint with just a tiny bit of paint thinner and liquid. It didn't need to be thin too much because obviously these are already quite white, so even though I didn't want them to be too intense pops of white, it was already quite white, so the contrast isn't too big. So there you go, you can see that I've finished the painting now and I've inserted a photo. Hope it's caught the opalescence that it kind of shows, and I hope you like the final painting. I really enjoyed doing it. I definitely think I'm going to be doing more oil paintings in the future. I think it's a really fun medium and really manipulatable. You can make it dry fast, you can dry slow, you can blend it, you don't have to. It's just, you can do what you want with it. I feel like there are very few restrictions with oil paints. So thank you for watching. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you want to see more from me, please subscribe.